Hi, my name is Ogechukwu Nedima Okafor, but you can just call me Neddy. I'm a 19-year-old self-taught illustrator. I am a self-taught artist. I am a self-taught artist on a journey to learn. Self-taught artist. Hey guys, Neddy here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Neddy, and starting fall of 2022, I will be a concept art student at Syn Studio Montreal. I bet you guys didn't see that coming, huh? Where do I start? So a lot happened in 2021. I relaxed my hair, I moved, I participated in my first art challenge, I graduated, like who would have thought? I even reached my very first YouTube milestone and finally hit 1,000 subscribers, which honestly I still can't believe to today. I'm so grateful. But out of all these things I mentioned, I think the one that made the most impact in my life was the decision to finally take the leap and apply for art school. I don't know how much of a shock this might be to some of you out there, but for about 1 year now, almost 1 year, since like February of last year, I have been on constant edge whether this video will actually ever see the light of day, whether I was actually going to ever film it. Honestly, it's like still unbelievable. In this video, I wanted to give you guys an update and talk a bit more about why I decided to go to... Hi guys, so editing Oge here. Apparently my camera decided to turn off right as I was explaining what this video was going to be about. So I'm just going to briefly sum up what I said. I basically said that this video will be divided into two main parts. The first half, I'll be explaining my opinions on art school, why I decided to go to art school, and talk a bit about the art school that I will be attending and why I chose that specific art school. While the other half of the video, I will mainly be giving some channel announcements and talking about the updates that will be coming to this channel, and talking a bit about my mental health and why I decided to make this channel updates. So yeah, that's everything you missed. I also mentioned that there will be timestamps in the descriptions in case you want to skip to a specific part of the video. So yeah, back to the video. My camera just randomly died. I have no idea why. So I have some notes that I wrote down on my phone so I don't forget what I'm talking about. So I'll just be glancing at my phone bit by bit because, like I said, I have a lot to say. I do advise anyone who is a returning subscriber to watch to the end of this video because I will be making some very important channel announcements towards the end. So please, if you can, do watch it to the end. Let's talk art school because I know that's what most of you are thinking about right now. Let me just tackle the elephant in the room. Do you have to go to art school? The answer is yes or no. Honestly, that question depends on the person, and I think the problem comes from the question itself. I think a better way to phrase the question is, do you need to go to art school to have a career in art? If that's what you're asking, then the answer is no. You don't need to have any form of degree, any form of formal training in order to have a career in art. But whether you need to go to art school depends on the certain individual. So you might not need to go to art school. That doesn't mean I might not need to go to art school. This question is usually thrown around a lot, and yeah, there's so many mixed responses, but usually you hear most people say no, you don't need to go to art school. But it's kind of like, I think it's always very one-sided because most times a lot of people watch the videos and just assume, oh, I don't need to go to art school, when in reality you might need to go to art school, and that's just facts. You might if you can, and obviously take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. This is in my personal opinion, and I'll try to explain why. There are lots of factors that play in a person deciding to go to art school, and I'll use myself as an example. Why do I want to go to art school? For various reasons, but the long story short, one of the main reasons is because I have always wanted to go to art school. I've always wanted to be around like-minded people that want to do the same thing like I want to do, and I just want to be in that community of like-minded people that are working hard to achieve a very similar goal. But obviously that's on a more personal level. Another reason why I really want to go to art school is because I am an international student. If you do not know, I was born, raised, and I am from Nigeria. There are so many factors that actually go into being an artist, and the place you live or the place you're from plays a huge factor in that. And it's very sad to say that Nigeria currently, as of 2022, isn't the best place for you to chase your art dreams, and that's just it. Most times international students do need some sort of degree in order for them to be able to chase their dreams somewhere out of the country. And I'm not saying by any means that if you're in another country you have to just like dip and go to maybe North America to learn animation or concept art or whatever it is. What I am saying is you should never just base your decision off videos that tell you no or yes right out the bat. Actually do your research. Where are you located? What are the factors that play into you being an artist? Does your country support it? You might be watching a video from someone who is born and raised in the United States telling you don't need to go to art school. Of course they don't need to go to art school. They don't need to leave the United States. But there's so many factors that play into it. So yeah, I high-key advise that if you are thinking of going to art school, even if you're from the United States, even if you're from North America, even if you're from a place with the entertainment industry or whatever industry you want to get into, no matter what, I do advise you to do your research more than just watching someone else tell you don't go to art school because it's a waste of money, or don't go to art school because of this. Write out your priorities and see whether art school is best for you or not. I'm going to try to go a bit faster because I'm working with time. My camera battery seems like it's going to die any moment soon. So yeah, okay, now that I've answered that question, hopefully I can move on to more about the specific art school that I applied to and why I applied for this program. But before I move on, let me just tell you a short story time that dates back to 2017, the year I graduated from secondary school. After I graduated, I wanted to go to Savannah College of Art and Design in Atlanta, Georgia, and I was so fixed that that was going to be the school of my dreams. Have it in mind that prior to that, I didn't have any knowledge of SCAD or going to art school. The only reason I knew I wanted to go to the school was because a classmate of mine brought back the pamphlets and I was so captivated by the idea of studying art. I really didn't do my research. I was just fresh out of high school and I wanted to jump into like learning and drawing art for the rest of my life. So I applied to SCAD and you will not believe this, but I actually got in. But due to certain reasons, one being that I truly wasn't ready to go to art school at that point, I didn't even know what I was going to study. I just picked animation because it seemed like it was the coolest, and thankfully I did not go because now that I look back at it, I cannot animate. Like I don't have the patience to be an animator, so I'm very, very glad that didn't happen. Anyways, at the end of the day, I studied computer science and I graduated with a bachelor's in computer science, which I'm very proud of myself that I did. Like, have you noticed? I've been saying I graduated up and down because I am so happy I did. I always knew that after graduating, I was finally going to chase my dreams in art. And after going to university, my mindset and my general scope of art just increased drastically. And that's when I made the decision to be a concept artist. It's funny because I always heard the term concept artist, but I never really understood what they did. But the moment I decided to do my research, I absolutely fell in love. And I just knew that was what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Searching for schools doing concept art as a graduate, it's kind of hard, and as an international student, so there was a lot that I had to like take into consideration. But at the end of the day, after doing all my research, I finally found out about Syn Studio Montreal, and that is the school that I applied for and I will be attending this fall. I chose Syn Studio for various reasons, but one of the reasons I decided to go to Syn Studio is connection. Now, I'm very certain there is one thing that everyone can agree upon, whether you say don't go to art school or go to art school, is that art school can play a very, very huge role when it comes to connection. At the end of the day, if you are considering going to art school, whether you're international or not, I will advise you go to art school that has solid connections into the industry you're going to, be it concept art, animation, fine arts, regardless. Just make sure that the professors that are teaching at that school actually have solid connections and are actually involved in your industry. Now, art school isn't a guarantee way to get a job, but if you go to a good art school with good connections, it can help increase your chances of getting a job because you know the right people and all that stuff. Luckily, Syn Studio is based in Montreal, which is the hub of the concept art and gaming industry in Canada, and I am so happy that most of the professors that teach there are actually people working in the entertainment industry at the moment or have started up their own studio. You know, they are basically very much involved in the industry I want to get into. Another thing I heard is Syn Studio actually sends out their student portfolios to companies for about a year after graduation, so you know they're actually helping you get a job after you graduate and you're not all on your own. The second main reason I chose Syn Studio is because, like I mentioned, I did graduate with computer science. That was 4 years. 4 years of tuition. Do you know how much that is? It was not a joke. And yeah, I really wasn't willing to like invest money and time into getting a second degree. Plus, I wasn't going to meet a lot of requirements and it just didn't make sense. So I was looking for other sort of programs that were not really bachelor's or master's in art. But the thing is, it's very difficult to find good programs with good connections and they're not too expensive. Syn Studio, in my defense, is on the more affordable side of art schools, and also it is a diploma program, so I do end up getting certified at the end of the day, which is very valuable as an international student. So at least I do have some valid reason to say I did concept art or I did whatever program I did. Also, I did my research on Syn Studio and they accept a lot of international students, and it's in Montreal, which I know is very diverse, and that's why I'm very much looking forward to actually see my diverse classmates. Now, if everything I mentioned about Syn Studio got your attention and you're curious about the program, then let me just say a bit more. I will link their website down below, so if you want to apply, you can go read everything you need to know about the program there. Now, if you're not interested in the school, then I would suggest you skip, because I will be diving into a bit of detail regarding the school. So the first and most important thing you need to know about Syn Studio is that they only accept 20 people per intake. I know, that's crazy. When I saw it as well, I was like, this is a whole ass competition I'm participating in. And the more reason why I'm so glad and so grateful that I actually got accepted. I'm so happy. Syn Studio actually offers other classes and boot camps for people who want to just improve their skills, and there isn't any limit for those specific programs. But for the concept art diploma program specifically, they only accept 20 people per intake. They have their reasons, but honestly, it's kind of tough having to struggle just so that you can be part of top 20 to get accepted. But I'm just glad I did. Funny enough, I actually applied for the spring of 2022 intake. So remember when I mentioned that I have been on Concert Edge since February? That's because I applied back in February for the spring intake. But thanks to the pandemic, it was cancelled and pushed to a fall intake. So I had to do the whole application again in October. But honestly, I actually didn't mind it because it gave me time to work on my portfolio a bit more. Speaking of portfolio, Syn Studio accepts students based on their portfolio. The stronger your portfolio is, the higher the chance you are to get accepted. But because Syn Studio is competitive and they only pick 20 people, isn't enough for your portfolio to be good enough. Your portfolio needs to be better than 20 other individuals. So yeah, it's really competitive, and I really advise that if you plan on applying, start working on your fundamentals right now. Like, get off this video, go and study, go and improve. I do have an upcoming vlog where I share my entire application process, as well as other fun videos regarding Syn Studio and applying for art school that I'll be posting very soon. So if you guys don't want to miss that, subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss out. For the second half of the video, I'm going to be talking about the changes that will be happening to this channel. If you're a returning subscriber, then you already know I've been hinting for a long time now that I want to make some changes to my channel, and that's happening. Like, now it's happening. So yes, before I dive in a bit more about what I'm going to be changing, I just want to let you in on how I have been feeling mentally regarding this channel. The truth is, since I started this channel, I felt very much restricted to the type of art that I could create, and that's because YouTube is really strongly based off aesthetics and following a particular niche, and most times when you try to branch out of it, your audience might get a bit confused, lost, and you know, the YouTube algorithm stuff. Because of that, I always got scared to actually post the kind of art I want to create, which is like concept art. The truth of the matter is, it's not every time I want to be drawing cute girls and sparkly things. Like, I do enjoy those things, but most times I actually want to work on projects that have to do with world building and concepts for things that like sci-fi or fantasy, and maybe not the type of things most of my audience might actually come to my channel to look for. I've never mentioned this before, but YouTube has always been a hobby for me. I love editing and I love making videos, and when I tried to bring art and videos editing together, it didn't mix. It was just very frustrating because I had to create art for YouTube, and most times whenever I did that, it always ended up becoming very mediocre. But I was tired of having to sacrifice my art to make YouTube. So what happens is that most times I would just not make YouTube videos and focus on my art. Then I'll feel guilty that I'm not making YouTube videos, and it was this constant circle. At the end of the day, being a concept artist is truly my dream job, and I never want to have to sacrifice my art just for YouTube. Another thing that happened was serious identity crisis. I remember when I posted my 5 tips I wish I knew as a beginner self-taught artist, and how in all my video intros I always go, I am a self-taught artist. Now I say that because yeah, I am a self-taught artist and I just wanted to let people know. But I kind of started building a community of people who were self-taught and kind of saw something in me, like, you know, looked up to me. And that made me feel very tense because the reality is I'm not self-taught by choice. All my life I wanted to go to art school. I'm self-taught because I couldn't at that moment. Now that doesn't mean there's something wrong with being self-taught. In fact, I'm really glad that I was able to push myself to where I am right now through being self-taught alone. But I always knew I wanted to go to art school. So when I would see people leave a comment saying, oh yeah, self-taught, yeah, we don't need art school. Not as blunt as that obviously, but you know, it just always made me feel really like an imposter basically, because the truth is I've always wanted to go to art school, and I am a huge advocate of going to art school if you can afford it and if you think it's best for you. I also had this inbuilt fear that, you know, the fact that I was going to now no longer be a self-taught artist, I was like letting go of a huge chunk of myself that was very important. And you know, it was like, oh, if I'm not self-taught, then what am I, you know? And you know, just a lot more personal things that the human brain just likes building up from nowhere. And yeah, so many really frustrating thoughts, but luckily I'm learning how to overcome them slowly but surely. I also tend to have this form of FOMO in the idea that if I decide to make the change that I plan on making to this channel, I'll be missing out on a lot of stuff, and eventually I'll go chase my dreams and realize that maybe YouTube was the best decision after all. But I just told myself that right now this is what my heart wants, and there's no point overthinking it. I just do it. If YouTube is where my heart eventually comes back to, then it's fine. I could always come back fully. And don't get me wrong, I'm not leaving YouTube. I'm just saying it's not my main priority. But I will still be posting videos, and that takes us to the next part of this video, my new content. As of the day this video goes live, I'll be launching my second channel, Neddy's Process. The plan is over on that channel I will be posting all my art process videos, because I don't want to post art on this channel anymore. Oh god, this might do serious damage to my sub count. Basically, for this channel I plan on making only art informative content, or basically just documenting my journey as an artist, so things like vlogs and tips. But actually making art on this channel, yeah, I don't think that's gonna be happening. Maybe in a vlog, if there's a particular artwork I'm working on, I will show it on the, like, in the vlog. But actually making a piece of art specifically for this channel, nope, I'm not going to be doing that anymore, because I want to focus all my art on actually building my portfolio and working to get into the entertainment industry. So yeah, for those of you who are still interested in my art, I'm not going to be holding back anymore. I'm going to be posting all my concept art stuff, my illustrations, all my artwork. I will be uploading that on my second channel, Neddy's Process, so I'll leave the link in the description. By now I've probably uploaded the first video, so yeah, I will really appreciate if you guys go subscribe to that channel, because I have a lot of artworks planned and I cannot wait to share them all on that channel. I think I've said everything that I need to say, plus my battery is really low and I think my camera will die very soon. So yeah, like I mentioned before, I have a lot of exciting videos planned for this channel. I know this transition might be a shock to some of you, especially if you came to see my art, and I do hope you stick along for this transition. I'm very certain you're going to enjoy the new content that I'm going to be posting. I've really loved making film all my life, editing videos, so I'm really looking forward to making this new form of content for you guys to enjoy. I do have a series of videos that I'll be posting on my channel for the next few weeks. It's a series about my application to art school, my portfolio that got accepted, posted and all that fun stuff. I'm really excited to share them with you guys because I've been keeping this a secret for almost a year now. So yeah, I'm so excited. So if you're interested, do make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss out when they launch. This announcement marks a new chapter in my life and a new chapter for this channel. I don't know how things are going to play out for now, but I do hope you stick around and we can find out together. Thanks for all the continued support, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.